Hey guys, welcome to Work in Progress, the video series where I document my daily practice as a full-time gallery artist while showing you what it takes to get here and stay here along the way. So first of all, what did we think of the new intro? Pretty good? I kind of like it, man. I think it's brief, it's concise, it's to the point, but what do you think? Cringeola, does it work? Let me know in the comments. In today's video, man, we're looking at Printerinos. That's right. This weekend I got a new batch of prints in and got them hand embellished and finished up. I normally order and embellish prints once a month, and I know what you're thinking, bro. Trust me, I know what you're thinking. This motherfucker is only doing them once a month. And yeah, man, to be quite honest, I put a lot of love and effort into each one of these prints, which you're gonna see. And so for me, the most sustainable way to do that is one day out of the month, just dedicate a whole day and get it done. And just have a really good time doing it and just treat it as a day in the studio, as opposed to, ordering prints daily or weekly, however long they get here, however frequently I have to, and then just embellishing one or two, blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't make as much sense to me. I think maybe as things grow, it's going to be more sustainable to just keep it one day and, might even become a weekend at that point. But for me, it's like, I'm unfortunately not Amazon.com, brothers. I am but a man that is very, very grateful for the love, patience, and support that I get for these prints. And in return for that love, patience, and support, I put a lot of heart and effort into everything that I do, especially these prints. And so what goes into them basically is I receive them and then I go ahead and zhuzh them up by hand. But don't let me freaking bog you down with this explanation. Let's get into the video and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I like to clear my big studio table. I've got this table that I made with just kind of different pieces from Home Depot, and I like to set my prints up there just to get a nice understanding of what I'm doing. And then the first thing that I do is I start to mix color, and with most of the prints, or some of them at least, I really like to paint outside of the border. For me, this is just like one good way of demonstrating that, hey, this is not just a print, this is something that has had some sort of manual intervention. So here, I pick two areas, the hand and then the shoe, and I use that as a good opportunity to extend the painting beyond the border. After that, I just find a couple of areas that really make sense to me, that feel like they would like a little bit of love, or even sometimes something that maybe I wish I had kind of gone back and done on the print or on the original painting, maybe a color adjustment or maybe an extra highlight. So here you can just see I'm going back in with some areas and adding, like here, these highlights on the leg, for instance, they're not really that bright. And then the white highlights that I'm adding here weren't really there, but there's something that I feel just kind of like makes the overall painting just a little bit better. Moving on to the next one, I chose to highlight the ring here. It had a nice golden ring, and so that was like one area that I really thought would shine. And then after that, the cat hair, man, that's like the main focus of this print, and the painting itself too. So I went back in with the exact same brush that I used to make the hair, and I'm just adding highlights, and I'm adding a couple of different hairs. I'm highlighting some of the ones that are already there, and I'm adding new ones as well. And I'm just skipping around all over the painting, and you can see that there's just a lot that really goes into these. And for me, I don't really worry about going too overboard. I would rather, have too much than too little, to be quite honest. And again, this is just a reflection of my sort of gratitude that I get from people that actually invest their money in these things. And, I want to make sure that I do good on that. And especially because I make you guys wait for so long, to be quite frank. So here I'm going back in and I'm adding some more highlights and stuff like that to the cat. I normally don't go in and paint like shadows. Maybe on the previous one, you know, you saw I did I extended the foot and then I added a little drop shadow. So maybe in areas like that, but most of the time I'm adding highlights and maybe some brighter kind of upper value mid-tones. And then it's the same exact process for the small ones. See, we've got the extension beyond the thing, beyond the border, and then we've got the hand kind of coming out of the side. We've got the highlights as well. We've got some more highlights, some more highlights. You know, it's a lot of just these highlights that I feel really make it. And then here's some of the reflective shadow, or some of the reflections on the shadow. Here I went back in on the tennis racket, but unfortunately my big head got in the way, but that's okay. And then the same thing for the small one, no different. I went in with the same, I got the ring done, and then I'm here adding more of the little hairs. And I didn't record the process of every single print. I don't think you guys needed to see every single one. And some have already done, you know, on video, so you can watch that as well. But these are new ones that haven't been recorded. And these were editions of 2. So there was only 2 made of each size in this specific print. So this one of this size is already sold out, but there was one more left of the 16 by 20, which you were more than welcome to buy if you'd like. And then here I'm going back in with some more highlights. And this is a brighter color than was originally on the painting. So again, it's for me, it kind of like bridges the gap between a print and an original, or more than anything creates something new. Because I'm really, with these interventions, I am to some degree making some changes, maybe improvements or adjustments, whichever way you'd like to consider it. This was a really fun one. This one, I chose to highlight here, you know, I put some of the reflection of the fire on the dog, adding a little bit more orange probably than would actually happen, you know, with distance, because there's not really a way that it's going to reflect that far, but I thought it would still be a good idea just for the sake of the print. And then I'm going in and adding a lot on the fire. So I'm really touching up the fire, adding some lights, some midtones, some highlights. I said lights twice, my bad. And then also going back in and adding some of the smoke. That was a really fun part too. And the fire, you know, also adding kind of like these little wispies like that, like beep, 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 beep. You know, just the way the fire kind of crackles and floats away from the, you know, bigger mass of fire. And then here just going back in with some smoke. Now when I started the second one of these, because this is also an edition of 2, also sold out except for the larger size, I went back in and I extended some things beyond the border. So I'll show you guys that as well. So getting here into the time lapse, something that I like to do when I have multiple of the same is kind of just set it up assembly line style. Obviously for the previous video, I wanted to highlight a single one just to give you guys a good demo. But this is basically one of my methods of quality assurance. You know, this is how I make sure that every print is consistent from one to the next. At least within that individual set. I do reserve the right to make changes from print to print. You know, sometimes I'll get more excited about one area and less so about another, but some of the things that I try to keep consistently are, you know, the things like extending beyond the border, and that's not always the case. And here we've got the casting couch, and this is going to be another one where you'll see a little bit of that border extension. I chose to highlight the couch itself, and then there you see some of the LEDs on the camera itself, and then that little border extension of the frame beyond the wall. And here we've got the last doggo. The one, and you can see here again just some of the highlights that I'm adding, and this is the one where you're going to see I brought the other one back just to make some adjustments and extend the fire beyond the border as well as some of the other areas. And since this one was an edition of 2, this is the second one that sold, and I'm just finishing off with this one. Just adding the same, you know, the hairs and all that stuff, and I think this was a very successful run of prints in general. So yeah, man, that's what goes into all of my prints. You know, it's for me, like on a practical level, it's a very good thing to do if whether you're working with a gallery or not, no matter like whatever stage you're in your career. I think it's an important thing to start a store and stock it thoughtfully and never let it go, because this is your key to your autonomy. You know, if you're choosing to sell, you know, let's say you don't want to work with a gallery and you want to sell your artworks directly to your clients, this is a great way of supplementing income, especially, you know, if you're going through a period of slow sales or low sales, whatever you want to call it. And if you're, you know, just at any stage, man, I mean, it's also just a great way to connect with people and to get people something of yours in their homes, man. And that's, at the end of the day, the goal is like, you want people to enjoy the images that you make. And I don't want that to be necessarily limited to people that can afford an original painting. You know, I want people to still have something that resembles an original, you know. And again, I think that the hand embellished print, it really fits that. It really bridges that gap between a print and an original. And yeah, it's something that I very much enjoy doing, and I hope that these continue to grow and that you guys continue to keep me busy. So to that end, there's a link, or there's a code in the description of pretty much every installment of this video, and it's got a 20% discount. And there's no reason that you should ever pay full price for these prints if you're watching these videos. As a supporter of this channel, I want to, you know, extend my gratitude by, you know, giving you a significant discount on these and making it even easier for you to have something of mine in your home. So yeah, man, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate the support, I appreciate the love, and I appreciate the attention. You guys have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.